What's your earliest childhood memory?
My oldest childhood memory, or probably my first childhood memory, was a very terrifying one. I thought my parents, they were dropping me off at nursery school or school, maybe my first day of school, and I thought they were leaving me.
Zakk Wylde is a name that roars through the halls of heavy metal history. With his powerful physique, wild golden mane, and that unmistakable bullseye Les Paul slung over his shoulder, Zakk became more than just a guitarist, he became a force of nature. From his explosive beginnings as Ozzy Osbourne's right-hand man, to founding his own powerhouse band Black Label Society, Zakk has built an entire legacy around passion, loyalty, and raw talent. But behind the thunderous riffs and rockstar image lies a man defined by discipline, family values, and resilience. A warrior who overcame his struggles with alcohol and transformed his life through faith, health, and relentless focus. Born Jeffrey Philip Wieland on January 14, 1967, in Bayonne, New Jersey, Zakk Wylde didn't arrive under bright lights. He came from a blue-collar corner of life where grit was the family currency. His father Jerome had known hardship and taught young Jeff one rule: nothing is handed to you. You earn it. That lesson burned into him early. At home, his sister Amy played the violin. The house hummed with music, but Jeff always turned toward noise, the kind of sound that shook the floorboards. At 8, he found a cheap guitar in a pawn shop. It was battered, imperfect, and perfect for him. Day after day, he sat cross-legged on the floor, teaching himself chords until his fingers bled. His heroes were guitar gods: Jimmy Page, Tony Iommi, and Randy Rhoads. Not celebrities, but the people who lived inside his amp. By his teens, music wasn't a hobby, it was an obsession. He'd race home from Jackson Memorial High School, skip meals, and play until dawn. Mom worried, teachers complained, but Jeff didn't care. He was building something. At 14, he started working at Silverton Music, cleaning instruments, restringing, and doing whatever kept him close to guitars. When the shop lights went out, he stayed under the dim fluorescent glow and kept playing until the janitor locked the door. Soon he was on small stages with local bands like Stonehenge and Xyrus, tearing through small bars across New Jersey. Most nights, he earned barely enough for gas money, but every solo he played was a step closer to something bigger. Zakk was unknown until the age of 19, just another dreamer with calloused fingers and a tape recorder. One night, he recorded a demo in his basement, which was raw and unpolished, and he mailed it to Ozzy Osbourne, the man who could change everything. Ozzy had recently split with guitarist Jake E. Lee, and he was looking for new young men who were fearless and full of energy. The week passed in silence. Then one day, the phone rang. A voice came from the other side. "Kid, Ozzy wants to see you. Go to Los Angeles." Zakk flew out of the country with a guitar and a dream. At the audition, nerves hit him hard until Ozzy walked in and smiled. "All right, buddy, show me what you got." Zakk plugged in, played Crazy Train, and unleashed pure chaos. Thunderous bends, lightning runs, every note screamed with emotion. Ozzy didn't even blink. He just smiled and said, "You're in." That single moment turned Jeffrey Wieland into Zakk Wylde. Touring with Ozzy was a baptism by fire, sold-out arenas, midnight flights, and zero sleep. But Zakk never backed down. He co-wrote and performed on albums that defined a generation: No Rest for the Wicked, No More Tears, and Osmosis. His melodic yet brutal solos became part of Ozzy's DNA. From Mama, I'm Coming Home to No More Tears, every note carried Zakk's heart. Ozzy wasn't just a boss. He became family, a mentor, a brother, and later, the godfather to one of Zakk's children. By the mid-90s, Zakk had everything a rock star could want: fame, respect, and an army of fans. But deep inside, he felt lost. Constant touring and chaos had burned him out. Zakk stepped back and released Book of Shadows, an intimate album that showed a softer, more honest side. It surprised fans and revealed the depth behind the thunder. But silence wasn't his destiny. In 1998, he formed Black Label Society. It was not just a band, it was a movement of brotherhood. With drummer Phil Ondich, he released Sonic Brew, a record that mixed Southern blues warmth with crushing metal. This sound landed hard, raw and alive, not polished for radio but tuned to the gut. Albums like Stronger Than Death, Mafia, and Order of the Black defined an era of unapologetic rebellion. At the center of Zakk's world was friendship, especially his bond with Dimebag Darrell of Pantera. Two brothers from different bands, but with the same fire. They laughed, toured, and dreamed together. When Dimebag was tragically killed on stage in 2004, Zakk's world shattered, and he poured his heart into In This River, not as a hit song, but as a goodbye letter. Since then, the track has become a sacred moment at shows, a place where grief and healing meet, and on stage, Dimebag's guitar stands like a quiet monument. By the 2000s, Zakk wasn't just Ozzy's guitarist anymore. He was his own legend, the face of modern heavy metal. Then in 2014, Zakk founded Zakk Sabbath, a tribute to the gods who started it all. He revisited the Sabbath catalog with respect and his own gravelly voice, proving he could honor the past while imprinting his style on it. Then came 2022, another full-circle moment. Pantera announced their global reunion tour, and Zakk was chosen to step into a role that meant more than notes. He carried Dimebag's spirit on his stages, from Mexico to Europe and beyond. Each solo felt like tending a flame. Between those big stages, he also joined the supergroup Generation Acts with Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Tosin Abasai, standing shoulder to shoulder with the finest players alive. Amidst such hard struggle and success, he has also gotten recognition. Inducted into Hollywood Rock Walk of Fame in 2006 and the Metal Hammer Golden God Award in 2010, but for Zakk the real reward is simpler: the roar of a crowd and the next riff he hasn't yet written. Then came a time Zakk had never imagined. In August 2009, his body gave him a warning. After years of hard living, he collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. Tour dates were canceled, and doctors found deadly blood clots. "You're lucky to be alive," they told him. That day, Zakk made a choice. No more alcohol, no more chaos. He quit cold turkey. Then his home garage became the Doom Crew Iron Den, a personal weight room, where he rebuilt himself through strength and discipline. "Lifting isn't therapy," he said, "it's war." He rebuilt his daily routine with strict food and relentless practice. The result wasn't just a healthier musician. It was a man who'd learned to control what he could. In 2015, he launched Wylde Audio, making guitars and amps that carry his name and tone, tools for the next wave of players. But the offstage, Zakk is not the berserker the headlines sometimes paint. He's a husband and a father. He married his high school sweetheart, Barbaranne, in 1992. She's been his constant partner, manager, and the calm in the storm. Together, they raised 4 children: Haley Ray, Hendrix, Sabbath Page, and Jesse John, names that nod to the music that shaped him. Ozzy remains close to the family, a bond that has survived decades of touring and life on the road. Then there's their home in Castaic, California, a peaceful 10-acre ranch up in northwest Los Angeles County, a 3,621 square foot estate with 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a backyard swimming pool. This is the refuge where horses roam, dogs run freely, and guitars hangs on the walls. It is not an honest and lively case, but a breathtaking place between the shows. Even Zakk's garage is a Thunder Road museum, with a custom Ford F-150 for hauling gear and kids, vintage Chevy trucks for barbecue runs, Harley-Davidson custom bikes with bullseye tanks, and 50-plus custom guitars lining his vault. He turned riff culture into an asset culture. And these quirks are true. He's a backyard pitmaster who smokes ribs for the crew, a rider who finds peace on horseback, and a man who sometimes relaxes to 70s AM radio. These soft edges balance the rumble. Zakk's signature bullseye Les Paul the Grail was born from a happy accident. A design meant to mimic a film spiral became a target and then a legend. He turned that image into a brand. Wylde Audio, signature gear, and merch that fans were like insignia. Endorsements, signature instruments, and collaborations, from Gibson to Death Wish Coffee, helped build a music business that funds the music itself. According to reliable sources, his net worth is estimated to be $16 million. Some claim even higher wealth, but will stick to a conservative figure. Money came not just from album sales and tours, but also from gear, brands, images, and his signature bullseye Les Paul is a symbol turned revenue. His company, Wylde Audio, custom guitars and amps, adds another layer of income. Today, Zakk is in his late 50s, but plays like he's decades younger and roars onto the stage with the same berserker energy. Currently, he's deep into the Pantera Celebration Tour and other major tours, from Black Label Society to Zakk Sabbath, and high-profile reunion runs, performing night after night with an intensity that still shakes arenas. And when the amps finally cool down, he heads home to Barbaranne and the kids, often traveling together, catching a breath by the beach, guitars and dogs always close by. He still grills, still laughs loudly, and still treats every day like a gift he nearly lost back in 2009. And for fans wondering what's next, there's more thunder on the horizon. He's quietly working on Black Label's 12th studio album, set for a late 2025 release. Most of the riffs were born in hotel rooms, scratched into notebooks between shows. This is pure and unfiltered Zakk Wylde. As for the future, there's no talk of retirement, no slowing down. Just one promise Zakk keeps repeating: more thunder's coming. From a working-class boy in New Jersey to a global symbol of metal, Zakk Wylde's story is about evolution, turning chaos into clarity and pain into purpose. He teaches a simple lesson: talent matters, but so do discipline, loyalty, and the courage to change. Zakk didn't just play the guitar, he became it. Which Zakk Wylde moment hits you hardest? The painful beauty of In This River, or the full-force chaos of No More Tears? Drop your pick below, hit like if you ride with the Black Label Brotherhood, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives behind the legends.